President Macron and France are in a state of panic. They are losing their influence in the continent of Africa. They have lost the entire Sahel. They are losing Senegal, they are losing Benin, Togo, and basically it is a neo-colonizer in the decline. So when they very quickly arrange these meetings, Africa Forward, it is not Africa Forward, it is France Forward. And people may not know that a similar meeting was held in Brazzaville by Charles de Gaulle in 1944.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
To protect France. And another meeting was held in Niamey in 1973.
Okay.
Which was similar to what happened in Kenya. So in a nutshell, he's here to raid the continent of Africa. Remember, there are 4,200 counting French subsidiaries active in Africa. In Kenya, nearly 140 in all sectors of the economy.
Okay.
So they may say what they are saying, but those who are discerning will know the man is on a hunting ground, and this is a stomping ground, and our president is a willing participant.
Can the same be said about other former colonialists? Can the same be said about Germany? Can the same be said about Britain and you know, Belgium, Italy?
All of them. There is a new scramble for Africa, and you see it everywhere you go. When you see, only 2 days ago there was a meeting called African Business Summit in London.
Okay.
They don't love us. They want what we have. When you see the Germans active through GIZ, they may be doing a few good things.
Yes.
But those few good things, you've got to look at and remember the saying, be careful of the Greeks, particularly when they bear gifts. The Belgians are doing the same in Congo. The Portuguese are doing the same in Angola. And they are new players. The Chinese are here.
Right.
The Turks are here. So there is a new scramble. There is deja vu. It could very well be Berlin in 1884, 1885. But Africans, to use this American slang, we are not smelling the coffee.
Yeah.
We are not smelling the coffee. And that is why, once again, if we are not very careful, we'll be dominated in all sectors of our economy. Simon Kapwepwe of Zambia once said,
yes,
those who left as colonizers will one day come back as investors. And they have come back.
He said that.
He said that. The first president, vice president of Zambia said that. Simon Kapwepwe.
Yeah.
Wow. And he was right.
That's a prophecy, eh?
You know what is interesting about this new scramble for Africa? The old scramble, the Europeans simply sat down on a table and just divvied up the continent.
Yes.
You take this, you take this, you take this, you take this, you take this. Now there's competition. Because, as the good professor aptly put it, let's start with those closest to us. The Middle East have an interest on the continent. And it keeps growing. Okay? If you're talking about the Russians, they have an interest. In fact, one of the things the Russians are doing in the Sahel region, they're the ones who are checking the French.
Yes.
Where a French colony has issues with France and want them out, the Russians will happily support you. The Chinese, in the way they do things, have come up. The Japanese are more quiet, they're more diplomatic than the others, but they're not to be left out.
Absolutely.
Remember, they began their form of the African summit called TICAD.
Yes. TICAD, yeah.
Yes,
correct.
Okay. Now, this particular season of the scramble for the continent is competitive. The players are many. But my opinion is the pitfall is that our leaders don't seem to have this understanding that for the first time, because of the competition, we actually have an opportunity to negotiate something better for our people.
Absolutely. You know, CT, you are so right. If you look at all these meetings that have been held in Doha, with the Qataris, the Emiratis, in Istanbul, with the Turkey, in Japan, with the Japanese, everybody is holding meetings.
Yes.
And my own view takes off from your very own, that this is the time, because the reality is that we've got to collaborate is a global world.
Yes.
But we can negotiate, and I've always said the best way to negotiate is regionally.
Okay.
If the East African community were to operate as East African community, and the things specific to Kenya are negotiated in the context of East African community. The same thing with ECOWAS, the same thing with the SADC, and that way. But look at, if you permit me, look at our finance bill, for example, which is up. The bill is a disaster. It is clawing back all the things that we were doing in the spirit of East Africanism. They are introducing tariffs on Tanzanian goods. How can you be creating a single market and then imposing tariffs on things like glass and other things? So we are losing the opportunity to negotiate, and the rest of the world loves when they do bilateral. I've always argued, look at Eswatini. Eswatini is meeting China for a bilateral meeting. The GDP of Eswatini is pocket change for Jack Ma. But if Eswatini were to negotiate in the context of SADC,
Yes.
or Burundi were to negotiate in the context of East Africa or South Sudan,
would
then we
more.
begin to make sense.
They would have a louder voice.
Yeah, a louder voice. And unfortunately, our leaders, or dealers, as a friend of mine chooses to call them, are so susceptible to manipulation that they think I'm the one who is shining. It's like the schoolmaster's pet. You want to shine over your schoolmates. So you have this feeling that I'm shining. I'm the one who is receiving all the accolades in the world. Therefore, you are ready to betray your colleagues. And that is what we continue to see in the continent of Africa. We